Things I invest in as an AuDHD woman that are worth more than money. A lot of these things also support my sensory needs as well. If you're watching this video thinking that I sound like the love child of Mary Poppins and David Attenborough, I am only showing you these things that I do sometimes. I do not do them every moment of my life. I don't always do them all at once. And this video is in no way intended to shame anyone. These are just things I do. If you get inspiration from them, that's great. If you don't do them. This is not showing my chaotic side. This is not showing the parts of me that are procrastinating or don't feel like doing anything. These are just things that I try to invest in. The first thing I invest into is health. I am passionate about the health of me and my family. I've got a supplement for everything in there. There are some supplements, for example, that I take either daily or every other day. There are others that I will take as and when required, so I don't go overboard with it. I do get my blood tested every now and then. Sometimes I'll pay for that just to check if I need anything, just to check if I've got the right nutrients or if there's anything that I can improve on. That's really important. I am a person who reads ingredients on things. I do not want to be buying food with chemicals in or artificial sweeteners or anything like that. So that is really important. And I am willing to pay a little bit extra to get a cleaner, more natural version of something. As I've mentioned before, I'm all about living as naturally as possible. And I do have some things that support that. So I've invested in a red light box, which is good for your circadian rhythm. It can help your skin, your joints, your muscles. So for example, if you've injured yourself or if you are aching or whatever it may be, like 10 minutes under the red light can really make a difference. And it's not always straight away, but sometimes it's for example, an injury that you might feel it again for days or even weeks, improves after one day. I'm not saying this will work for everything. By the way, none of this is medical advice. This is just my own experience. I've also invested in a vibration plate. That is amazing for lymphatic drainage and improving your circulation. I also have an infrared sauna blanket, which is a bit like a sleeping bag. I call it a sweat bag. I do not sweat very easily. I struggle to sweat. So when I go in that, it helps me to sweat. You might be wondering why would you want to sweat? Because sweating is good for you. It pushes toxins out through your skin. So that is a really important thing that I will use if I feel like I haven't sweated for a while. So that's really important. I drink plenty of water. I eat as clean as possible. I'm not a saint. I still get takeaways, but most of the time when I get a takeaway, it's usually an Indian takeaway. It's usually a curry. And to be honest, they're cooked from scratch. As I've mentioned before, I'm vegan for the animals, so the curries I get are all vegetable based, yeah, a bit of oil, and they're not that unhealthy. So I do sometimes eat a bit of junk food, but again, I try and keep it as natural as possible. I will say about health that a lot of people would the amount I spend on investing in my health, a lot of people would be shocked at. But here's a question for you. If someone offered you all the money in the world that you would ever need so you'd be set up for life, but in return you had to give up your health, would you accept that? I'm guessing the answer would be no, because what we don't realise is our health is so much more important than money. And if you've not got your health, you have not got wealth. So health is absolutely worth the investment. The second thing I invest in is my hormones. And yeah, this does tie into health. But if you're watching this and you're female, you will probably know how much our hormones fluctuate at different times in our lives. If you're male and watching this, then this is probably less relevant for you, but it might help you to support someone that you care about. So female hormones fluctuate wildly throughout life, but especially at particular times. I invest in my hormones by seeing a bioidentical hormone specialist. I'm 42 and I am probably at an age where my hormones are very much up and down. So I want to support them in the best and most natural way that I can. So just to give you an idea, a bioidentical hormone is a natural based hormone that actually works with your body. Hormones that are often provided in the medical industry they're not always, but they are often synthetic, and they don't work in line with your body. And your body sometimes, while they may work temporarily, in the long run your body can end up suffering as a result of that. And again, this is not medical advice, and I am not telling you to stop medications or anything like that. This is just from my own personal experience and my own research. So this is something that is really important to me. Another way I'm investing in my hormones is by focusing on eating a lot more protein than I used to. I didn't really even used to consider protein at all. And yeah, being vegan, I've heard it a million times before. Where'd you get your protein from? Vegans can get loads of protein, just as much as anyone else, and I get plenty of it. But when you are, like I'm 42, it's really important to get a lot of protein. So I make sure I have 30 grams of protein in my breakfast. I will have like a protein shake every morning. And I obviously also get protein in my other meals through the day. That's a really important part of supporting like the female hormone balance. Getting daylight, sunlight whenever possible, not always that easy in the UK. Trying to walk or exercise regularly. I'll be honest, I walk every day, but I don't do a lot of other exercise apart from like sometimes on my vibration plate, and I do need to do more of that. I tend to be a lot more active during the warmer months, which is probably true for a lot of people. So yeah, hormones obviously ties in with health, but really important thing to invest in, and in my opinion, it is worth investing in. I'd just like to add as well, when it comes to like health and hormones, if you invest in it now, it means you are more likely to have a healthier life as you get older. If you do not care about your health now, you are more likely to be on medication and struggle with lifestyle related illness as you get older. So in my opinion, it's very much worth the investment to invest in your health now. The third thing I invest in is my ancestors and my culture. This is really important to me, and although it might sound a little bit spiritual to you if you're not a spiritual person, just think about this for a minute. Think about everything your ancestors went through in order for you to be here. They survived famine, they survived war, they survived heartbreak, illness, disease, whatever else they may have survived, and you are here as a result of that. I have got a deep respect for my ancestors and my heritage, my mainly Irish heritage. My heritage is Celtic, like mainly Irish. I have Scottish, a little bit of Welsh, got Scandinavian and Native American, and I am so proud of my heritage. I am into genealogy. I've got a family tree, and I want to know about the stories of my ancestors. I believe that everyone deserves to have their story told, or at least acknowledged. And the more I learn about my ancestors, the more I can take from their wisdom or learn from their mistakes. So that's something that's really important to me. Plus, it's absolutely fascinating. Like, I wasn't really into history when I was younger in school, but now I love it because I am learning the history of my ancestors, and you can do the same. The fourth thing I invest in is people, animals, and the planet. I have always wanted to help since I was young, and it's just been, I've always had a lot of deep empathy. I've always stood up against racism and stood up against things that are not right and injustices in the world. I am vegan for the animals because I care about what animals go through and what they experience. I currently work as a volunteer. supporting vulnerable adults with alcohol and substance misuse. If you check out a few of my other videos, you will see that I've had my own issues with alcohol in the past, and I've actually been sober for 6 years now. But just being in that environment and hearing people's real stories and just understanding that they are human and they're struggling is something that I'm really passionate about. That I love to help whenever possible, and also to give people that second chance at life, to help people who want to turn their life around. I have spent my life rescuing animals, whether it be if there's an animal in the middle of the road that is injured, I have stopped my car and stopped traffic to get that animal. I have got animals out of dangerous situations before. I've helped people who need help on the streets. I will stand up for anyone who needs it. And that is not me saying, oh, I sometimes go around picking up litter. I did that quite a lot during lockdown, and I do intend to do it again. Like I say, I don't do these things all the time. I do them when it comes to helping people and animals, I do them whenever it's needed, no matter what. When it comes to like picking up litter and stuff, I will get inspiration to do it and I will do it. I can't say I do it every single day because I don't. But I do think it's important that we respect and look after our planet that has provided us with so much. Because if we don't look after it now, then who's going to? We have to appreciate the fact that we're here. We have to appreciate all the natural resources that we have because we are on this planet. So in my opinion, it is really important to do what we can whenever we can. That to me is a massive investment. This is our home. The number 5 thing I invest in is my spirituality. Personally, I don't follow a religion. I do respect other people's religions. If that is what you want to do, then that's great. For me, I believe in a higher power. I believe there's so much more out there that we don't know about, and there's so much out there that we do know about. I've experienced too many unexplainable and amazing things in life to not believe. So I'm a very spiritual person. I practice gratitude every day. I appreciate that we're here and what the rare likelihood it is for us to be here, like 1 in 400 trillion. I appreciate those so-called coincidences in life which kind of line us up to be on the right path. I appreciate that the difficult things we experience in life are here to teach us something, and that once we learn from those things, we grow as a person. Now, I'm not saying that life is not difficult at times. Sometimes it is extremely difficult. It can be heartbreaking. But I have learned a lot from those times in my life. I'm a very open-minded person, and there's a lot that I believe in. But I personally do not need to go to church to express that. That's just in me anyway. Again, no disrespect if you follow a particular religion, no disrespect whatsoever. I'm happy for you. This is just my own experience of that is spirituality, and that is something that I believe is worth investing in. So while, for example, investing in health can be expensive, doesn't have to be. You can do it on your budget. There are changes you can make straight away that don't have to be expensive. I personally probably do spend a lot of money on health, but I also do not spend money on alcohol or smoking or nights out. I do go out sometimes, but I'm not like a regular. A lot of people will go out weekly, for example, and not think twice about spending over £100 on a night out. Whereas I would rather invest that in health or in something that is going to improve my mindset. I will invest money in like going to a concert of a band that I love, or an experience or a holiday or things like that. But overall, I do spend a lot of money on health, but you don't have to. You can make those changes to suit your budget. These things that I invest in suit my lifestyle with AuDHD. I have mentioned before, I experience a lot of sensory issues, And by living a more natural life, I minimise those sensory issues. Like, for example, I am very sensitive to chemicals, and I think it's really important that what we eat, what we put on our skin, should be as natural as possible, because it is going to go into your skin, it's going to go into your body, and it will have an impact on your health, whether you realise it or not. So those were 5 things that I think are worth investing in and that are worth more than money. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this video has been helpful, and if it has, please like and subscribe. I will see you soon with more videos. Bye.